that should do it. So I'm going to go back to my earbuds for the recording. Okay. So this is just going to be throwing a cylinder, and my on-off switch is up here to the right off the camera, and my speed is here. And I'm just going to, let me back this up to maybe not shake as much. So I'm going to sponge it off, turn the wheel off. I've got my tools here. This is the tool setup I'll need. 2 ribs and my pin tool, wherever it went. Okay. So when I'm throwing, it seems like most of the time I spend looking for my tools. And so I just used the pin tool for another demo, and now I don't know where it's at. Okay, so maybe you won't need it. We'll see. So I would have this plus a pin tool, and that's really all you need out of your tool bag. So I'm going to put my tools right there. Let's turn the wheel on. When you clean the wheel, you're going to press in the center and go to the outside edge with it turning. And that's the easy way to clean it. Okay, so I have a wedged piece of clay, and I'm going to take that wedged piece of clay and kind of throw it to the middle. I'll try to adjust lighting here just a minute. Maybe get the lighting to where it's over me, a little less shadowy. Sorry. So I'm actually looking at hiring somebody to help me with these videos because I feel like they're just so bad. But right now, it's just me. Okay, so here we go. Center the wheel, well-wedged piece of clay. If you pat it into a ball, it'll be a little bit easier to center. So that's a thing. I'm not going to worry with that because I can center it. So I'm going to aim for right there. Never really hit it. Then I'm going to take it while it's dry and kind of pat it into the middle, into a ball in the middle of that circle as evenly as I can, and that's going to help you center. Now, I didn't talk about it last time very much, but you can't see it in this video, but you have to lock your elbows into your torso and then make sure your arms are down on your knees. This video is not going to show that, but good body position makes all the difference if you're having trouble centering. So I'm going to get lots of water. And I've already lost my sponge. Oh, here it is. Okay, so lots of water. This is the one time you want it going fast. Every other time you want it slow or medium. And then I'm going to take this hand and make it a gatekeeper, and the elbow is actually, my elbow's locked into my gut to help it be stable. And this is going to be your karate chop hand, and you press down and it starts to dry out immediately. And actually, this is a little too fast for the leverage that I have on the table here. So, and you can see it's wobbly. It's all wobbly, and my hands wobble when I touch it. That means it's not centered. So I'm pushing in, karate chopping down. This clay's a little stiff. I also use this fleshy part of my thumb and press down sometimes. So when it's, you can also use this rib and hold on tight with 2 hands and go over on this side and scrape off some to help you get centered. If the clay's too stiff, sometimes that's helpful. Okay, so it took me about a semester of college to be able to do that. Semester of college clay class. So it takes a while. And some days are golden and you can just sit down and do it, and other days are horrible. And that's just the way it goes. So you need to be trying to throw every day if you can, because some days are just not going to work. You'll have the time, you'll have the space, you'll have the clay, and your hands just won't figure it out. And then other times you're on a roll and you're just like, okay, I need to never stop because I will never get this back again. Okay, so this is centering. Hand position, gatekeeper, karate chop, or you can go this way, gatekeeper, karate chop, to get the hockey puck. You're going for the hockey puck. Okay, once I've got the hockey puck and I'm sure it's centered, that's pretty well centered, then I'm going to turn the speed down.
Hey students and teachers, let me have your attention for just a second. This is advisory. Of course, during advisory, this time is meant and is meant for you to build community within your advisory.
So I'm going to talk over Dr. Bartlett. So we're going to go from hockey puck to truck tire. And truck tire, you're going to stack your thumbs and at 6 o'clock and bring them down into the middle. When you feel it hit the middle, you can dive down. If that doesn't feel quite right or not enough control, you're going to stack them right here. And then dive down. It gets dry almost immediately. So you got to go get water, go back down. And I'm stacking my hands and pushing down, and I want to keep it straight as it goes down. Now, right here, you can stop and check the thickness. And checking the thickness is one of the few things that you can do while the wheel's not turning. Okay, I found my pen tool. Way over here under the board. So I'm just going to stop. Maybe. This is one of the few things you do without the wheel turning. Everything else you want the wheel turning and a gentle approach, gentle release. So I'm going to take the pen tool, I'm going to put it straight down in the bottom, and then I'm going to take my finger and put that down in the bottom, and that's how much I have left. That means that's how much is left. So that means I've probably gone too deep, and I'm probably going to go through the bottom. So while I'm here, I'm going to just take some from this side and scoot it down to the bottom. Ideally, you would just not go that deep to start with. So I'm going to just see if I can take some from the side down. Sometimes this works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it'll look like it's working, and then when you cut it off the wheel, it's a problem. Okay, so now let's try again. Again, going for pinky thickness on the bottom. So I stick the pen tool in. I'm going to go like that. Okay, that's a little better. So that's how much I have. That's a little bit better. It's almost a pinky thickness. Now hopefully that'll work. And that little hole just closes back up. It's nothing to worry about. Okay, so truck tire. So now I'm going to open up the tire a little bit more. And what I'm doing is making a flat wall with these fingers and pulling back towards me 6 o'clock. You always want your hands at 6 o'clock or 3 o'clock if this is a clock face. If you're working up here, your elbows are off the table and you don't have control. If you're working over here, the clay's jamming into your fingers. Everyone does need to make sure your wheel's spinning the correct way. It should be spinning from your right out and over, so that would be like counterclockwise. If it's spinning the wrong direction, you're going to have a lot of trouble, and you need to let me know, and I can help you know how to reverse it. It's not hard. You just have to take a plug apart and put it back together. So the foot pedal, every wheel has a different way of reversing. So if on the ones we have, or the Clay Boss wheels we have, that you have, you're going to take, there's a place where the foot pedal connects to the body of the motor, and it's just like I think it's a 3-prong plug, and it fits in, and then you take it out and reverse it and put it back in, and it'll reverse the wheel. Of course, it needs to be turned off when you're doing that, and then turn it back on, and then it should reset to go the correct way. Okay, so now I'm going to raise the wall. A lot of people do this claw method, and the outside hand pushes and kind of rolls over and up to get to volcano. I didn't learn this way, so I struggle with it. So I learned a much harder way, which is this way, and my hand squeezes water as it goes in the sponge, but the knuckle starts down low and moves up and over, kind of rolls over to get it into volcano. This hand just kind of feels what's going on. Almost always you got hands touching hands. So here we go. Rolls up and over. Slow, gentle approach, slow, gentle release, reset the rim. Okay, so again, a lot of people do this, and so I'll try to show you that. I'm not very good at this method. So you should have about 3 pulls to get all the clay up. But if it takes you 20, that's okay. It's better to go slow than too fast. Reset the rim. So that's kind of what that movement looks like. Your hands have got to move slower than the wheel. So I move up a little bit, wait for it. 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 Wait on all that clay to come around. Okay, so that's pretty good volcano. Reset the rim. So I don't know if you can, let me see if I can tilt this to where you can see it at the side just a little bit. Okay, maybe not. Let's see. It's about the best I can offer right now. Okay, so now I've got the volcano. Now I'm going to take this inside hand and create a little wall and just kind of push it up. Just kind of turn that hand up and out. I use however many fingers will fit. Typically I do 2, but right now it's only going with 1, so until I can get 2 in there. The outside hand is I'm compressing, still feeling what the inside hand's doing. Most of the time your hands are touching hands. Gentle approach, gentle release, always. Biggest mistake people make is not having enough water and not keeping their elbows down. So just imagine me over you as you're throwing, going, put your elbows back down, add some water, put your elbows back down, add some water, because that is the 2 biggest problems people have. It's not about hand position as much as it is keeping your elbows into your gut, keeping your arms down on your legs and down on the splash pan rim. So now I'm just going to do 1 final pull to make sure I got out all the walls as even as I can. And I'm going straight up this time instead of volcano. Now the clay wants to spin out, so it wants to go bowl. That's why you start with volcano first, because you won't get a cylinder if it goes bowl first. So I'm going to take this rib, press against the side. I'm going to put my inside hand up against it just to try to straighten that wall just a little more. Wheel is slow. Every move is careful. Gentle approach, gentle release. And this rib is drying off the outside of the clay of the cylinder. So now I'm going to reset the rim. It's getting a little wobbly and thin. When you reset, you pinch this way, and mostly you press down. So pinch and press down. That made the sidewalls a little wobbly, so go back and straighten that up. Okay, so now trimming and taking off. So in order to take it off, I have to have the inside of my hands clean and dry. I have to have the outside of the pot clean and dry. And in order to be able to lift it, everything has to be kind of wiped off. So I'm gonna sponge out the inside of the pot too, so that I won't leave water inside it. Because if you leave water inside it, sometimes it makes it crack on the bottom. So that wobbled it out a little bit, so I'm going to straighten it back up a little bit. I don't always use this, but I think it's handy when you're learning to make a cylinder. So now I'm going to take my trim stick, wipe off my trim stick, and I'm going to cut in under just a little bit of a bevel cut. I need the wheel going a little bit slower for this. And you can set the wheel just like I am, only set it with your foot pedal, and then take your foot off and sit it on the ground. So once you get the speed the way you want, take your foot off that pedal and don't worry about it anymore. I'm not adjusting speed very often as I'm throwing, and because this is a hand adjustment, it's I I don't keep my hand on it. Sometimes the foot pedal becomes more of a problem. So that was just a little bit of an undercut. Take that extra off. So what that does is it gets rid of the extra clay that's there. I'll still have a little bit, but not much. And then it also gives it kind of a cast shadow underneath. It's a place to get your wire underneath. It's also a good, it just looks good too. So a lot of reasons to do that. Okay, so cleaning my hands off again. If you're cleaning your sponge, open and close underwater, open and close underwater, close and lift before you come out of the water, and then you won't squirt the wall or anyone near you. Reset that rim a bit, sponge off the outside, sponge off the wheel, get it all clean. Inside of my hands are clean and dry. And then I need my wire. So I'm wiping my hands on my apron. It's sometimes helpful if you have a towel to put over your lap. I don't recommend washing it in the washing machine though, because yeah, everyone's washing machines. So I've done that a few times. Okay, so now I'm going to turn the wheel off. You can do this with the wheel running. I think my first video showed that when it was at my house. I do have some other throwing videos on my YouTube channel, and one of them has my cat in it. So if you want to see my cat, because I'm throwing it home. So I put the wire between my fingers like this, and then I wrap it around till I get the amount I need, and I'm going to press that amount I need down on the wheel and pull across. And if it just starts dragging with it, that's okay. Stop and pick it up. Carefully pick up. Carefully sit it on one of your clay boards, right? I see all the time, I see people who carefully pick up and then they drop it onto their clay board. I'm like, what are you doing? So you want to protect it all the way. So if you know it's one you're not going to keep, I would cut it in half and see what the cross section looks like. There's hair in it, but other than that, not too shabby. This is a little bit too thin, but otherwise not too bad of a cylinder. I did not measure this, so I'm not sure it's 1 pound, just so you know. So then I clean off my wheel. You want to use the wooden rib to do that. And turn your wheel on. Hold the wooden rib flat, long flat side down. And that will clean off your wheel. And then you can use your sponge to get whatever's left. Open and close your sponge underwater. Open and close and lift what closed. Press, go all the way to the outside edge. Clean everything up. Okay, I'm going to have to get ready for my next class to come in. So I'm going to turn this recording off.